let's be clear about this motion. This is a motion that's designed to provoke and to divide, and the Leader of the Opposition doesn't seem to care that the motion actually makes less likely the thing he says he wants, which is a pipeline. Because let's just unpack it. If it's yes, if there's a yes vote, well, it might look like we don't take seriously our commitment to First Nations and the consult with BC. And if it's a no vote, I got to stop running when I'm coming in. So look, if it's a yes vote, it might look like we don't take seriously our requirement to consult with BC and First Nations. And if it's a no vote, it might look like we're not serious about the pipeline. So this, let's take it to a meta level. He knows what he's doing. Both of those situations, either a yes or a no vote, makes the pipeline less likely. The Prime Minister is a serious man for a serious moment. The Leader of the Opposition is not, and he's playing political games, and he's jeopardizing Canada's economy.
But if you're saying that the motion will make you more divided, isn't that saying that your party's already divided on the issue?
No, I didn't say all. I said what it is. It signals something either to First Nations or to the business community. Neither of those signals could be interpreted wrongly, so that's the challenge here, and he knows that. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Doesn't the motion say, though, consult with something to the effect of in recognition of the duty to consult?
Well, this is one of these things that the motion can change right up until the day it actually comes in. So you asked me how I'm going to vote. I'm going to look at the actual motion and the language of the motion, but let's be really clear about what's going on right here.
But is there also a risk? I mean, Ellis Ross is on their team. He was a First Nations chief. I mean, he represents a riding that this could go through.
That's a great diversity of opinions on the matter, absolutely. But you don't want to get ahead of it, and we've seen pipelines go down when people try to get ahead of these things. When you look at the court challenge that knocked out the Northern Gateway pipeline in 2014, 2015, what ended up happening there is people were too overly enthusiastic about a pipeline, and then the court said, no, you did not perform your duty properly.
Are you expecting your party to vote as a bloc altogether on this? Will it be a whip vote?
I haven't had any conversations to that effect, but I think that I look forward to seeing what my colleagues have to say about it. But we all know what's going on here. Like we're not confused about what they're trying to do here, but it's silly. It's not what the country needs at this moment. What this country needs is serious leaders acting in a serious fashion, not playing games that jeopardize the economic future of this country. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Just on this Conservative pipeline motion tomorrow, what do you make of it? How are you going to vote tomorrow? What do you expect to see from your party?
Well, both the Liberals and Conservatives have forgotten that they have a duty to consult with First Nations people. It's not something that happens after the fact. It's something that happens before, and although Prime Minister Carney has spoken a good game, if you look at Bill C-5, he doesn't talk about the duty to consult and accommodate. That's deeply troubling. And the fact that I hear the Conservatives and the Liberals bantering back and forth, violating their constitutional rights to Indigenous peoples with a total disregard for the climate emergency that we're in is deeply troubling.
During the election, we heard a lot about how voters who traditionally voted NDP were maybe voting Liberal. They wanted to counter the Conservatives and Pierre Poilievre. Are you thinking that some of those voters may have regrets when they see things like this pipeline potentially being built?
Well, Carney touted himself as an environmentalist. I know he wrote a book in terms of a green economy. That certainly his actions are not indicative of that. He has weakened environmental standards in this country. He has given cabinet and ministers overarching powers, unprecedented powers that we've never seen before in the midst of a climate crisis on the backs of Indigenous peoples and without the voices of Indigenous women and girls, in spite of the fact that we know there's a direct correlation between violence against Indigenous women and girls and resource extraction.
Leah, what do you think of, on C9, what do you think of the Justice Minister not consulting the Prime Minister's office on this deal that Sean Fraser was trying to broker with the Bloc Québécois?
I'm unaware of that. I'm unaware of that, sorry.
Do you see this as an opportunity for the NDP to be the party against pipelines, if to try and win back some of those voters who maybe went to the Liberals?
Well, it's about free, prior, and informed consent. I think at the very core of it, we have to remember that the majority of resource extraction happens on Indigenous lands, territories, and resources, often without consultation, often without free, prior, and informed consent. And when there is a resource extraction without fulfilling their constitutional obligation to accommodate, I think that's where we need to begin first. If we're going to talk about reconciliation in this country, if we're going to talk about rectifying historical wrongs. The path that both the Conservatives are taking on any sort of development in this country without clear, free, prior, and informed consent of Indigenous people, without fulfilling proper duty to consult and accommodate, is deeply troubling. And I think, we'll continue to see a pattern if this continues on.
And are all of your MPs going to vote, all the NDP MPs going to vote against the motion tomorrow?
I can't say at this point. We'll be discussing it as a caucus, but I suspect we'll probably proceed that way.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Pipeline motion tomorrow? Are you going to vote in favor of?
Of course I'm going to vote in favor.
Why do we need a pipeline?
Pardon me?
Why do you think we need a pipeline?
Because we need to diversify away from the Americans. 98% of our exports go there. We'll be hearing all about this in debate. Thank you.
How are you going to vote on the pipeline motion?
Just watch.
Do we need a pipeline in Canada?
I tell you, I am talking about the MOU right now, and we've got to support that because it creates opportunities for Albertans, British Columbians, Indigenous peoples, and also for Canadians. Thank you.